I believe the camera stopped again, so tell you what, you know what I'm going to do all the way to the edge. I'm going to stop the camera and finish it, and then I'm going to put the elastic here, and then I'm going to fold over it like that. Okay? And then we're going to leave all of that like that, and we're going to pin it in place. And I'm going to pin like this, because I don't want to pin the elastic. I'm going to just pin it on the edges like this. Okay? Now I'm going to pin the elastic back here, because I don't want it to get in the way of where we're trying to stitch, or else we'll stitch the elastic and we don't want to do that. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do, we're going to take our orange thread again, because we have it threaded, and you can see what I'm doing that way. This will be the sample mask, so it's okay. So we're going to take it, we're going to put a knot in the end, and we're going to, once again, we're going to bring it up from the bottom just to hide the knot as much as possible. And then we're going to stitch like that. See that? Instead of a running stitch, we're going to do a blind stitch. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to go underneath the fold and come back up again, then take a little stitch, go under the fold, come back up again. You saw me do this one, Bailey, when I was doing that quilt. See, I got my thread caught. Okay. So then again, we're going to go at the edge, we're going to go under, up, and through. It's a blind stitch. And if the thing is caught, I'm going to take that pin out so it doesn't get caught. So, little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. Little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. So, little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. This one's faster. Little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. It's called a blind stitch, and if you see, it doesn't show, right? So little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. This is the same one that you use if you want to hem something. So little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. Little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. Little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through, and oh, I came unthreaded again. Why, oh why? There we go. Little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. Little tiny stitch, under the fold, up and through. Okay, now we're at the other end. Excuse me. So now we're going to lock stitch it like that. Cut her off. We're going to fold in like that. A little bit being stubborn. Then we're going to take our piece of elastic and we're going to fold it. We're going to hold it right here. And then we're going to fold over the elastic. Make sure that the elastic is not caught, and try to get this to meet up with our other piece right here so it looks kind of nice. Then again, we're going to pin that so it doesn't get away from us. Pin one in the middle so that we know where we're going. Pin one on the other side. And then finally we're going to pin that elastic in place so it doesn't get into where we're trying to stitch. Okay, so we got that. So one more time, we're going to thread our needle. that. Here again, do the little knot. Okay, so we have our needle threaded, we have our knot. By the way, we're almost done. Okay, so now, once again, we're going to hide the knot, we're going to come up from underneath. Do you see what I'm doing there? I'm coming underneath the fold, just because it kind of hides the knot. See, because I've got an ugly knot, and I'm going to put it under there like that. Okay? So you can't see the knot that way. Then we're going to make a couple of our lock stitches by making a loop and pulling the needle through the loop. So again, we're going to, make a loop, pull the needle through the loop. Okay, we did a couple lock stitches. So now we're going to do that blind stitch again. So we go under, take a little stitch, go under the fold and come up again. Take a little stitch, go under the fold and come up again. Got that? It's an easy little stitch. Little stitch, under the fold, come up again. Oops. Kind of got tangled. Okay. Little stitch, under the fold, come up again. So, little stitch, under the fold, come up again. Little stitch, under the fold, I got caught, come up again. I'm going to take that out so it doesn't get in the way. Little stitch, under the fold, come up again. 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 Now what we're going to do is we're at the end. We're going to take this out so it doesn't get in the way, and we're going to make our lock stitches again. So lock stitch. Okay, so we're going to make a loop, go through the loop, pull it tight. Do another one, make a loop, go through the loop, pull it tight. Okay. Trim the thread. Ta-da! Okay, now the next thing we need to do is we need to attach our elastic together. So we just need to overlap it just about that much, and we need to take our thread. We're going to make a knot, then we're going to put the knot through one side of the elastic. Okay, there's a reason for that. Then we're going to put the knot side of elastic, if I can get it in my hands here, we're going to put the knot on top of the other side. Okay, so now what we're going to do, if you look at this, we have two pieces of elastic, one on top of the other, and the thread just coming out of the top piece of elastic. On the sides, we're just going to go around the sides of the elastic. See that? Around the sides. And I see this elastic is beginning to fray, and I'm sad about that. But until we get 1/4 inch elastic, there's not much we can do. So we're going to go around the side about 4 or 5 times, and then we're going to switch the other way. I'm about to lose my thread again. I'm going to pull that. Hold on, I'm going to pull that tight. Okay. Then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing on the other side so that that is nice and tight. That's Max. I think he needs to go out. Okay, they got all that done. So now, again, same as we did before, we're going to do the lock stitches. So find the loop, pull it through. I like to do it just with the pieces of thread. Go under the threads, create a loop, pull it through, underneath the pieces of threads, create a loop, pull it through, cut it off. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. But I'm going to get some more thread. Okay, so I have more thread, I put a knot in it. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to come up underneath through one piece of this. Then we're going to lay that piece of elastic on top of the other side of elastic. They're overlapping about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, just a little bit. And then again, we're going to go around the sides and just secure it together. See that? Around the sides, secure it together. I think that's about 5 times. That ought to do it. Then we're going to turn it. We're going to go around the sides over here and turn it together. I'm going to move that because I want it to be pretty as possible. And I would recommend you do this with white because it would look better, but I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So around the sides, pretty as possible. There we go. All done. Come up to the top, and I'm going to go under the threads, create a little loop, go through it, make little lock stitches, same thing, do that. There you go. Okay. Cut that off. Now, undo those pins. And I want to try to try to work this around so that the joints of the elastic is inside the mask, because it would just look a little bit better. So you just want to move it around a little bit. No big deal, but whatever. Okay, so they're going to do that on that side. Then we're going to unpin this side. Oh, it's unpinned, so you're going to, again, try to scooch the elastic around so it's inside the mask. And guess what? Our mask is done. So now we have this mask. So what you do is, it goes on your nose, it goes around your ear, and around that ear. Glasses come off. That's pretty good. And then they tighten it over the nose at the top. What do you think? I can wear it to the grocery store? Ta-da!